Good morning, Nigeria. As always, and especially on this Friday morning, TVC has a finger on the pulse and our eyes on the streets. And here on this segment, we like to bring you trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in. We begin today with some sad news. Wrestling fans around the world are mourning the loss of one of the sport's most iconic figures. Hulk Hogan, who was born Terry Jean Bollea, has died at the age of 71 years old. Emergency services responded to his Clearwater, Florida home early Thursday after reports of a cardiac arrest, and witnesses say that he was taken from the residence on a stretcher. Hulk Hogan was much more than a wrestler. He helped transform professional wrestling into a global family-friendly phenomenon with unmatched charisma and a heroic image, wrestling larger than life. I think that what is so poetic and poignant about wrestling is that it mimics and mirrors life's own story. Heroes fall, villains rise, and all the world is a stage. He didn't just give us wrestling and body slams and undertakings. He gave us emotions and he gave us experiences. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Let's take a look at social media. Abhinav says, "We grew up flexing in the mirror, tearing imaginary shirts, saying our prayers and taking our vitamins. Rest in peace, Hulkster, a true legend." And Numbi says, "Hulk Hogan wasn't just a wrestler. He was a living totem, a roar in a bandana. He turned the ring into legend, his voice into anthem. Today, silence falls like a final bell, but his aura still body slams time itself. Rest in peace, the Hulkster, the immortal champion." Oh, that was a lovely tribute. Bringing it back to Nigeria, veteran actor Yemi Solade has stirred the pot with bold claims about the roots of Mollywood and his own seniority in the industry. In a now viral video, Solade declared that he predates Peter Edochie in the movie scene and argued that the Yoruba film industry laid the original foundation for what is now known as Nollywood. According to him, the Yoruba pioneers were already making structured films long before Living in Bondage burst onto the scene in 1992. And his take is that Yoruba filmmakers didn't get the credit they deserved because they focused more on the craft than chasing media attention. Take a look at him addressing other actors and actresses.
My people in the Yoruba setting didn't document anything. Right. So that did them in. That was why the other side of the world just stepped out and we started, hey, shut up, when people like us are here, will tell you. And then it's only in the Yoruba setting that you find practitioners who will tell you they've been around 60 years. Iya Rainbow is like 84. She's still going on set.
She is.
Me, I'm senior to Peter Edochie now. Started acting before him. He's older than me.
Wow.
Yes. I was 17 in 1977. When I returned to Nigeria at first act 77 as youngest actor.
Now, while the internet debates who truly fathered Nollywood, one thing is clear. Nigeria's film history is much deeper and much more layered than many may think. But guys, who do you think deserves credit for the birth of Nollywood? Is it the loudest storytellers or the earliest ones? If you ask me, we must focus on the stories that need telling. When we sell our film to the world, when we get on the global film stage, they see it as an African story, not a Nigerian story. And so I think that we should focus on the stories that need telling because that is where true power lies. Let's take a look at social media. That was very bold of him. He said, "I senior Peter Edochie. Is he your mate?" Dr. Caleb says, "Where was this man when Peter Edochie played the role of Okonkwo in Things Fall Apart movie adaptation of 1987? Question. And Prince D says, "Peter Edochie started acting in 1960s. He was working in a radio station in 1970s. When was this man born? So will you come out and say that Pella started social media in 2024 because that was the year he became famous? Waiting really do a brain of reasoning." I don't know. Moving on. There's been a storm on social media all over what students should or shouldn't wear at Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife. A document detailing a proposed dress code went viral earlier this week, and it sparked a lot of outrage. It banned everything from dreadlocks and heavy makeup to bum shorts and even hugging the opposite sex. The list also warned of possible rustication for violators, up to 2 semesters. But OAU management is now clearing the air. They say that that dress code is still just a draft. And according to the university spokesperson, Abiodun Olarewaju, the proposal has not been approved by the school's governing council. And whether it gets approved or not, the online backlash shows how charged conversations around morality, culture, and student freedom are in Nigerian universities. But here's my question. Where should the line be drawn between discipline and personal rights in academic spaces? When you look at the alumni of OAU, we've got Nobel laureates Wole Soyinka, Yinka Ayefele, Dele Momodu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana. Those are people who became successful because of their identity, because of their self-expression. And so are they trying to stifle these young children? Should the focus not be on their learning? Let's take a look at social media. I mean, they even ban things like colored hair. How does that affect a student's learning? Chris says, see, one thing about these Nigerian institutions is lack of quality education. It's a lack of quality education that makes people deviate from the purpose of going to school and start dressing inappropriately. Give people quality education and purpose, and nobody will dress anyhow because they know coming to school is business, not for fun. And Hamza Opalua says, this is welcomed. Let's recalibrate the attention of our students. Now, team, the OAU, let's put this in context, is not just banning things like indecent dressing or bum shorts or backless dresses. They are banning dreadlocks. They are banning relating with your fellow students. They are banning colored hair. Do you think this is a bit excessive? What's your take?
Excessive, I don't know, because my daughter attended a university where the dress code was very strict. You come with any kind of hair, they cut your hair at the gate. You know, so it depends on what you want. That's the kind of school I wanted my daughter and my son to attend. And they are better off for it. So it just depends on where you stand. Yemi Solade, they say when you have to remind your wife that you are her husband, then there's something very wrong. Because she knows you are her husband already. We all know that the Yoruba film industry started far away before the regular Nollywood started. Yes, we know that. You didn't need to harp on it. And where the question mark is that in acting, you are Pete Edochie's senior. I can't say anything about that because I have not checked it yet. Hogan, what I remember is that warning he gives to you before he knocks you out. We are going to miss that guy a whole lot. He brought finesse, he brought showmanship into the rest.
Your power. Another one. I hope he rests in peace. Unfortunate how he passed, having a heart attack, and then he died just like that. And I hope that the Lord comfort his family and give them the fortitude to bear the loss. Talking about OAU, the likes of Falana and co, they didn't say, the school did not say you cannot go ahead to perhaps do your activism and all of that. They have seen something and they decided to put measures in place. And if you are not satisfied, then you leave. I believe it's that simple. But these days you hear people talk about my expression and all of that. That is what brought us to the level where we are. And we are seeing the level of moral decadence in the society. If parents cannot do it and schools decide to put that measure in place, if any student does not want to stay, then they should ask their parents to take them out or they face rustication. So the measures is by the school. How did it leak out will be the next question. For Yemi Solade, he's saying, yes, we remember Roberto Gunde, Ade Love, and all of that when they were doing their stage plays, early years. And like you rightly said, Etoma, the Yoruba industry started and they were focused on stage plays and all of that. And then we know that Peter Edochie, Things Fall Apart, was in the 1980s, I think. It was a series, and that was when he became popular. He did not need to speak about that or make, what point was he trying to achieve? I do not know, but maybe he's trying to educate people on how things were before they got to where we are right now.
All right, and I'll pick up with OAU. I stand with OAU because sometimes I say the way you see students dressed to school is just unimaginable. And Olamide, you mentioned we're talking about bomb shots. We're talking about, you know, some things that they wear that are just not appropriate. So if the school is telling you that there's a particular way they want you to look, you need to look decent, I feel like it's a step in the right direction. If you want to wear bomb shots and all of that, you can do that in your house. But when you get to school, it's a public place. You are there to learn, and your appearance matters. I know a lot of people will say that, oh, what does colored hair have to do with learning? What does what you wear have to do with learning? But we have other people in the school too as well. So decency is key. If you don't agree with it, you better just opt out. But I love what OAU is doing, and I think that hammering on how people look is very important, because sometimes we do take it overboard. We just look anyhow and appear in the presence of people, and that is not right. Well, moving on to the story, Edochie will always be a legend to me. And sometimes I wonder why we're having these conversations. At the end of the day, it's one movie industry. At the end of the day, we are one. So why are you saying who started who started this? You are a legend in your own right. Edochie is a legend in his own right. I don't think it was right to come out and say that, especially mentioning the name of Edochie, who we all respect very well. We love you, you do a good job, but Edochie also does a good job. We need to stop the comparison and just know that we're one. If the Nigerian movie industry goes forward, it's for all of us, not for one person. And to Hulk, may he rest in peace. I don't really like wrestling. I'm a very soft girl, no wrestling, so may he rest in peace.
Show me your power.
No, I have no power, please.
Team, I don't know. I've got to disagree. I don't know if dreadlocks are the best or the most decent metric for morality. But hey, thank you for your submissions as always. Moving on in international news, former UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson was spotted behind the wheel of an old Toyota Previa, a modest minivan that wouldn't exactly scream former world leader. Now, the clip is making the rounds online, and it sparked a lot of admiration, with many people praising the simplicity of a man who once ran one of the world's most powerful governments. As a big global warming advocate, it's believed that his choice to maintain this old car is to prevent the purchase of a new one, which in turn means less pressure on the environment, and in stark contrast to Africa's love for convoys, bulletproof fleets, and siren blaring escorts. This quiet cruise has, of course, gained a lot of traction online, and it makes us have conversations around leadership optics, especially in regions where public officials are often accused of distancing themselves from the everyday realities of their citizens. This is very interesting because here in Nigeria, the glasses are tinted. You won't even see them cruising at 2,000 miles per hour. So this is very interesting that we're even able to see him. But true leadership is not in convoys or in fleets, it's in character and maybe even in carbon footprints. Let's take a look at social media. Look at him in that Toyota, I love it. I drive a Toyota as well, so I can relate, Boris. Director says, priorities. His vacation bill of expense may shock you to your bones. Over here, life vanity drives us. Over there, life quality drives them. And Farouk says, these guys aren't what we thought they are. After overseeing wars and signing defense contracts, you expect them to be poor. It's just PR. Moving on, still on international news. It's a courtroom clash that's crossing borders and making headlines. Yesterday, I broke the news that French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife, Brigitte, are suing American conservative commentator Candace Owens for defamation over her repeated claim that the French First Lady was born male. But Owens isn't backing down from this lawsuit. In a fiery video that she posted on her YouTube channel yesterday, she doubled down on the allegation and boldly said that she's ready to face the Macrons in court, even daring Brigitte Macron to submit DNA samples to prove that she's not biologically female. Now, this lawsuit was filed in Delaware, and it accuses Candace Owens of orchestrating a campaign of global humiliation and bullying based on what the Macrons describe as deeply invasive and a dehumanizing conspiracy theory. According to the couple, they can no longer appear in public without being harassed by people calling Brigitte a man. This is very interesting. In the video that we're unable to play due to its abusive nature, Candace essentially said, you are a man and you were born a man and you will die a man, to the president of France. Let's take a look at social media. That's a gutsy woman, if you ask me. Moving on, team. This is all very interesting. What do you make of this very conservative act by Boris Johnson, driving in a Toyota Previa? He made money, of course. He's a very wealthy man. He comes from money and means, and he's driving a Toyota Previa. Do you think African leaders can relate?
Well, for him driving that kind of a car, I think it's just a way of life of other people from there. If you go to England today, you see a big car drive past. When you look at it, it's a black man that's driving it. Not all the time, though. Not all the time, I must say that. But you see, some people just don't see why you should be that ostentatious and so on. I guess he's one of them. Look at the tires of that car, man. You know, but that's him, and that's his preference. And whether he was the leader of the free world at the time, it's his preference. And now for
Bridget.
Owen, yeah. Owen has an opportunity now to hit the social media with a bang, and she recognizes it and she's taking advantage of it. I mean, how more can it be that you are going against the president of France? Plenty of social media time.
Candace Owens, as usual, I don't expect anything less because she's always fiery and she's out there telling you, I dare you. I love watching her and her stories and all her conspiracy theories that she puts out on social media. But how this will pan out at the end of the day, I hope she has solid evidence to back up all of her claims at the end of the day, because I think that this is a huge dent on the image of France and the president and his wife, Brigitte. I think that it's a family matter and she should have just let things lie low. Why she concerns herself with these kinds of things, I still do not understand. Candice, come and let us understand you better. For the matter of the former British Prime Minister driving that car, he should have washed the car at least, I think.
At the very least.
Yeah, at the least.
At the least,
At
he
the least.
should have watched it.
We've seen him riding bicycles, and so I am not surprised that he is driving this kind of car. It's expected of him, because sometimes people wonder, why can't he buy comb for his hair and all of that? But that's just Boris Johnson being Boris Johnson.
All right, but I'm going to go to a different angle with this. And I hate the fact that people are trying to compare, oh, you never see Nigerian politicians do this. At the end of the day, I don't know why we like to celebrate things like this. Do you know how much he has in his account? Maybe he likes that car, maybe he likes to ride it. And I don't think we should encourage, see, if you like luxury, leave luxury. I'm all about that.
Ria, at
if
least
you want to drive,
basic decency,
no,
not
wait,
to ignore the realities of his
no,
citizens.
wait, if you want, wait, Olamide, if you want to drive a Benz, sit in a Benz and drive a Benz. I don't like the fact that they are now comparing this to Nigerian politicians. You never see them in this kind of cars. Like Veronica said, the car is even dirty. Look at the tires. The car doesn't even look safe for him as well inside the car. So
You're
please,
talking about carbon footprint.
so
too.
let's
Exactly.
stop,
You've got to put that in context.
let's stop comparing. You know, when we see things like this, we start comparing. We can never see this with our Nigerians. We can never see this. I think that whatever you want to
their
be.
everyday realities. When
But
they see
Olamide,
news like this, they can't help but relate
Exactly.
it to
I
their
get
current
what you're
realities.
saying. I get you. But if somebody wants to sit in a particular car, let him sit in the car. Let's stop comparing when we see things like this. I don't think it's fair that we start comparing when we see things like this. Maybe he likes that car. And like I said earlier on, he's not a poor man. We all know he's not a poor man. But maybe that's the car he likes. Etoma had mentioned it, that is how they like to live their life. We've seen him riding bicycles. We all know that Boris is not poor. He's not poor. He likes that car and that's the life he likes to live. Please, let's stop comparing
So
these people
can we
with
say
our
he's living a
politicians.
fake life?
But Veronica, he's not poor. We cannot say Boris is poor. I believe that he can afford any car he wants.
I hope you understand. I'm just saying he's living a fake life.
Yeah.
But moving on, talking about Owen, these are very strong allegations, and I just hope that she can back it. And the fact that she's saying that, you know, the president's wife should do a DNA, you are the one bringing this, so I bring that you should bring all the evidence, you know, because you cannot ask her for something when you have said this is what she is. She is a man, actually, what Owen said, not what I said, you know, but I'm saying that she needs to bring all this evidence because this is very strong and it seems like she's fighting against also very strong people. So I need to see evidence to these claims.
Guys, I just want to say something quickly. A friend of mine once said to me, he said, you know, why is it that Nigeria has such terrible roads, but we have the best cars, the deepest potholes, but the strongest SUVs? But I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
That's why they buy the SUVs, because
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
You don't feel the impact.
you will feel the impact.
But
So
let me
you buy
say,
the SUVs.
okay, let me say something positive, Olamide. At the end of the day, we see that our roads are getting better. We've seen infrastructure.
Absolutely,
I just don't like it when
absolutely.
all the time we want to bash. We are doing better.
Well,
we are
Ria,
getting there.
people will always do that comparison.
People will talk.
They will talk.
They will.
They will
But
talk.
We are
you
getting
see,
there.
Olamide talking about living the realities of the people. Does he have to show that, oh, this is how the people are living and I am solid? Okay, I'm
He
doing
was just
solidarity
cruising
with
down
them.
somewhere to get a picnic.
That's
Somebody
not
brought
how
out
the
their
people
phone.
live, actually.
Yeah.
That is not how the people live in the UK.
In
They
the
are
UK.
not living like that. It is just Boris Johnson and a leader trying to perhaps show solidarity with the people. You do not have to drive in a particular kind of car or drive a bicycle to show you. The money in my account is the issue. If you're not disbursing it to people or doing the needful, then you are not showing me solidarity. Don't live a fake life to please me. Be
Boris
real.
Johnson, you're hearing.
Yeah, honestly, because that's how I see it. It looks fake to me because
Well,
he's
when
a
you
rich
look at
man.
it, when you look at it, another person was filming him. maybe he planned that the person should film him and put it on social media and so on. So many things you can think about, but for a name like Boris Johnson, somebody would have expected that even if it is not a very high-end car, not that type of
Who knows
a
if
car.
he has high-end cars?
He
No,
definitely has high-end.
we believe he does.
probably does. He might be a sucker for expensive
So he's
vintage
living
cars.
a fake life, Olamide.
Absolutely.
And we need to stop comparing, honestly.
And at least you should watch the car. Be cool.
At the very least. At the very least.
All right, thank you, Olamide.
You're
for
welcome,
the
guys.
series.
I'm going to zoom off in my Toyota after this, by the way. Ria, don't be offended.
But it's watched, I know.
I can't promise anything.
Anyway, this is where we have to wrap things up on the program for today. Let's let you know that the views and reactions of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News.